You're over 60 and still masturbating, right? But deep down, you've probably asked yourself, does this still make sense for me? Could I be harming myself without even realizing it? The truth is, many men your age do the same thing, but no one talks openly about the real impact that masturbation can have on your body, your mind, and especially your self-esteem. In today's video, I'm going to reveal 5 urgent things every man over 60 needs to know about masturbation. These are truths that can completely transform the way you relate to your body and to pleasure at this stage of life. But before we dive in, answer me this in the comments. Do you think masturbation after 60 is good or bad for your health? Type yes if you think it's good, or no if you think it's not. I really want to hear your opinion. 1. Is your prostate still responding? Let's start by talking about your prostate, because at this stage of life, it deserves special attention. Few men know this, but masturbation can actually be a strong ally for your prostate health, as long as it's done the right way. When you masturbate with balance and genuine pleasure, you naturally stimulate this vital gland. That helps reduce the risk of inflammation, eases discomfort, improves urinary flow, and may even help prevent more serious problems, like an enlarged prostate or the chronic infections and pain that many older men face. But here's the hidden danger that almost no one talks about. After 60, your body doesn't respond the same way it used to. Your prostate naturally begins to enlarge and becomes more sensitive. That's why so many men in this age group start to experience more frequent urges to urinate, or even notice difficulties during sexual activity. If you keep the same masturbation habits from decades ago without paying attention to how your body is reacting, you might end up putting stress on the very area you're trying to protect. When masturbation becomes just a mechanical routine, done without real pleasure, just to ease anxiety or boredom, it can lead to persistent irritation in the prostate. And over time, that irritation can turn into inflammation that quietly affects both your daily life and your intimacy. The solution here is simple and extremely practical. Start listening to your body. Notice how you feel before and after each session. If something feels off, if there's discomfort, burning, or a heavy sensation in that region, don't ignore it. Your body is always trying to tell you something important. When done with awareness, masturbation can continue to be a powerful ally for your intimate health, giving you peace of mind for years to come. But at this stage of life, it's no longer about just relieving tension quickly. It's about truly taking care of your body. 2. Guilt-free desire is pure power. Let me ask you an honest question. How many times have you felt guilty for feeling desire after turning 60? Many men your age carry this silent belief that masturbation is something that should have been left in the past, as if enjoying your own body is somehow wrong, inappropriate, or even shameful at this stage in life. Maybe you grew up with the idea that there's a right time to stop feeling pleasure, and that after a certain age, it just becomes unacceptable. And it's exactly that quiet guilt, that shame no one talks about, that slowly eats away at your confidence and limits your ability to experience real, satisfying pleasure. Men who carry this guilt often live in a constant inner conflict. They start to feel inadequate, frustrated, and little by little, they begin to believe there's something wrong with them. But here's the truth. Male desire doesn't have an expiration date, and it never will. It doesn't disappear just because you've aged. In fact, mature men who embrace their desire and recognize that pleasure is natural and healthy tend to live with more vitality, self-respect, and inner strength. The problem isn't your desire. The problem is how you see your desire. The more you try to repress it or hide it, the more anxious, insecure, and disconnected you become. That affects not just your emotional health, but your energy, your daily motivation, and even how you relate to women. But there's a powerful way out of this. Embrace your desire with peace and without shame. Guilt-free masturbation is a bold statement that you accept your masculinity, you respect your body, and you understand the value of keeping your sexuality alive and active. And you know what happens when you do that? You start to get back that lost confidence. You feel lighter, more authentic, more secure. And that change doesn't go unnoticed. Women feel it too. It shows in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you look at the world. So give yourself permission to explore new forms of pleasure, new sensations, new moments of real satisfaction. You have every right to live a sexual life that's free of guilt or shame. Because mature men who let go of those old limiting beliefs don't just feel better, they radiate a magnetic energy that others can't help but notice. Your desire is your strength, not your weakness, and it's time you truly understood that. 3. How do you feel after masturbating? Have you noticed that after turning 60, the way your body reacts to masturbation has changed quite a bit? Back when you were younger, you probably finished the act feeling energized, recharged, and even uplifted. A light, positive sensation that stayed with you for hours. But nowadays, you might have noticed that your body doesn't respond in quite the same way anymore. It's actually very common for older men to feel a different kind of energy shift after masturbation. Some feel tired, sleepy, or even mentally foggy and less focused afterward. And if you've experienced anything like this, I want you to know you're not alone, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. The truth is that a mature body requires a different rhythm, a new way of connecting with pleasure. Many men try to keep the same fast, automatic pattern they had in their younger years, something mechanical, done out of habit, or just to release built-up anxiety. But the result of that is often the opposite of what you're hoping for. Instead of feeling relief and renewed energy, you may feel drained or even slightly off. The problem isn't the act of masturbating itself, it's how you're doing it. What your body is asking for now is slower, more mindful pleasure. It's time to slow down. It's time to give your body and mind the chance to fully engage with each sensation. There's no room for rush or anxiety anymore. And if you keep ignoring those signals, you're robbing yourself of truly satisfying experiences. The solution is simple, yet powerful. Begin treating masturbation as a moment of deep relaxation with no rush at all. Choose a quiet time. Focus on what you truly enjoy. Breathe deeply, and allow yourself to feel every detail with calm and attention. Try new forms of stimulation. Observe how your energy flows throughout the process. And most importantly, pay close attention to how you feel afterward. When you do this, you'll likely notice a big difference. That feeling of emptiness or fatigue will be replaced by a much deeper, more lasting sense of pleasure, and even increased energy. Always remember, your body is constantly speaking to you. You just have to listen and treat it with the respect and care it deserves. When you begin honoring the natural rhythm of your mature body, you'll rediscover genuine pleasure and a powerful energy that you may have forgotten was even possible. 4. The quality of your masturbation changes everything. You know what the biggest secret about masturbation after 60 is? It's not how often you do it, it's how you do it. The truth is, mature pleasure can be even more intense and deeply satisfying than it was in your 20s or 30s, but only if you're willing to make one essential shift, trading quantity for quality and speed for depth. Many older men still masturbate exactly the way they did when they were younger, fast, mechanical, disconnected from the body. And by doing that, they miss out on incredible sensations that only become available when you slow down and allow yourself to truly connect with the experience. The solution is simple, but incredibly powerful. Approach each moment like it's your first time exploring your own body. Try different touches, different rhythms, different levels of intensity. Notice how your breathing responds to each sensation. Feel how every small detail can make a difference. This kind of mindful, intentional masturbation isn't just more pleasurable, it's transformational. When you really know your body, when you discover what brings you true satisfaction, you naturally radiate a kind of confidence that no age can take away. Men who master this secret don't just feel better in their own skin, they become far more attractive to their partners. Because confidence, my friend, doesn't age. And when you embody it, people feel it instantly. 5. Alone or with someone. Masturbation is also a relationship. You might not have thought about it this way, but every time you masturbate, it says a lot about how you relate, not only to your own body, but also to the women in your life. Even though you're alone during the act, the way you approach that moment reflects how you see yourself, how much you value yourself, and what you expect from your partners. A mature man who knows exactly what brings him pleasure, who respects himself and understands his own needs, naturally becomes a much more attractive, confident, and fulfilled partner. When you know your body on a deep level, you're no longer waiting for someone else to validate your pleasure. On the contrary, you gain emotional autonomy. and women can sense that immediately. They feel more drawn to a man who doesn't depend on them to feel confident or satisfied. Practicing mindful masturbation is also a powerful expression of self-love, something many men forget or neglect as the years go by. But a man who takes care of himself, who knows his boundaries and desires, is also a man who knows how to care for others and build deeper, healthier relationships. That kind of self-care doesn't just change how you feel, it transforms how you're seen. And you know this deep down. A man who takes care of himself, who loves himself, is always a man who is desired. After all, loving yourself is the first step to being loved and admired. If you've made it this far, you've already realized something that most older men still don't know. Masturbation after 60 is not a problem. In fact, it can be one of your greatest allies for living a life full of energy, pleasure, and confidence. It all depends on how you relate to your body and your masculinity. When practiced with awareness, respect, and true connection to yourself, masturbation can renew your health, boost your self-esteem, and even make you a more confident, desirable partner. Now I want to hear from you directly. Which of these 5 truths made the most sense to you today? Let me know in the comments below, leave a like, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear this too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started on this journey together. And never forget, your power isn't fading, it's maturing, and it can be even better than before.